One uses. You can actually buy a book to tell you what you can use it for, and that's this stuff. Right? Concentrated vinegar. In this case, it's white vinegar. I've hidden the name because I don't get paid for branding, and they might tell us off because I'm using their product incorrectly and all this sort of stuff. Now on the top, this bit on the top, that's a measuring cup. Now you can go online, it has a website, and it'll tell you how many cups to how much water, and you can use that for removing lime scale, removing your scum soap off your shower curtain or your shower glass. It makes a lovely window cleaner for your cars, and basically the way I mix it is for your cars, it's like 2 pints of water, 1.5 of this, a drop of dish soap, wash it on, wipe it off, polish it off with newspaper, and you've got nice clean windows. But it is an acid, and you can use this for derusting parts. Now again, depending on how strong you can use it neat out the bottle. You can dilute it 50 to 1, 20 to 1, whatever you want to use it for. And again, it's not instant, but it will remove rust from parts. But again, the part must be degreased. And I say, yeah, there is commercial rust removers out there, but it's only dedicated rust removal. This will clean your kitchen sink. It'll clean your kitchen top. It'll clean this top. It'll clean, you can use it for cleaning fabric. The myriads of uses what this has got is compared to using your commercial brands for removing rust. And again, you just put whatever mix you have in the jam jar. The parts is like delubricated, no rust, no oil or grease on them. Champion, job done. The next thing I want to show you is the one I use the most. And it comes in various different size packets, different brands, different makes. And again, there's websites out there of how to use this product. And that's this one. Citric acid. I've covered the name up. Now you can buy citric acid to make, bear in mind, this here, pop, it's got citric acid in, so you can drink it if you want to. I don't think you wouldn't imagine to drink that like the concentrated mix that I mix it at. But it's used in wine making, beer making. It's sometimes used in cookery, different cookery aspects. Now, in this, it's not a powder, it's a crystal. And how I mix it is what I call a saturated mix. Now, at home, so I'm in John's workshop, I have a glass pint, Pyrex jug, glass jug. It's got more chips in it than a chip shop. And what I do is I put hot water, 1 pint of hot water in the jug. Then I keep adding and stirring with a wooden stick or a plastic spoon, the crystals, things, till you get a layer of crystals on the bottom of the jar, on the bottom of the jug. And that becomes a saturated mix. Then I'll let it cool down, then I'll put it into bottles, clearly marked citric acid. So if you can imagine, I haven't got any, right? I've brought John some, excuse me head, right? I brought John some, what I call scavenging from work, right? They're not heavily rusted, they're lightly rusted, right? Right? These bolts we get from work, they've got rust on. I mean, these is fairly light. What I'll do is, there's a bit there, is I'll put them in the jam jar. Then I'll put, obviously I've degreased them. I'll put the citric acid in, dilute, put the lid on, then just leave it. Now usually it takes a day, full 24 hours for that to sit, for them parts to come out of there totally degreased, ready to go. Then again, wash them off, hot water, so the water doesn't stay on them. Then put a lubricant on them, a penetrating oil or whatever you want to stop them flash rusting. Then you can use them whatever you want. Now, I work in the automotive industry, and I don't fix cars, we make parts for cars. and we get stillages comes in, what's had our parts in, and these are the nuts and bolts what the car manufacturers leave behind in the stillage, and I collect them up and I give them to John, and he uses them wherever he uses them at. So if you use jam jars, keep them, because they've got a separate use. You can use them, as I say, like the Americans do. They screw the lids to a wooden plank on the shelf, and they put screws in that them and they screw them on, and at an instant you know what's inside. But you can use them for. I use these little ones. I've restored a couple of engines, steam engines, recently, not to do with John, with somebody else. See John's video and asked us, and I couldn't match the paint. The paint was, so I got some paints. I won't mention the bottlenecker's name, and I mixed the paint in one of these jam jars to get the best match I possibly could to touch up the engine in question. I haven't got the engine with us, but it was the only way I could get the paint match. But you can use it for anything. As I say, once you've mixed the paint, you can give it, say, right, that's the paint I've mixed. It's got an airtight lid on it. You can keep it for weeks, months, years even, if it's cellulose paint. But small parts, like I just showed you what's in there. The cork's already working on them parts. It's just what it is. So, again, as I say, there's 1,000 other products. I mean, this is I mentioned the name, actually, but it's a squirty bottle. And I'll use this. I've just seen John use some. I'll use this and I'll mix a concentrated mix of that up to clean my workbench down at work or at home. Just squirt it on. Using it for what it's. And why I like this size bottle, it's only little, is it's less hard to knock over when it's full. You get a big one this big, and it's got a little bit of liquid in the bottom. You just knock it over and it falls over. But that's a nice handy size. So I hope what you've seen and what I've talked about puts you in the right place, basically. What you use has double uses. I mean, not everybody drinks pop, right? Not everybody drinks it. This is sugar-free. I drink not a lot of it, but it's relatively available. It is expensive, but try it. It does what it says on the tin. Now, it's the same with these. These were, when I was buying these, when it was starting to get, it was 35 pence for a little jar of jam and just 2 slices of toast. Now they're 78 pence. But the byproduct of that is that. And that's got 1,001 uses in your workshop. And you've got a jam sandwich. So out there is other products out there what you can use to derust things. Not just vinegar or citric acid. There's other acids you can obtain. I use citric acid to clean files, to derust files at a really concentrated mix. Now, one of the other acids you can get, it is common in DIY shops, and that's an acid, it's a mix of 2 acids for cleaning excess cement off bricks or concrete splashes when you've had concrete work and it's been splashed on the concrete. It's a concentrated acid of 2 acids. That works well on cleaning files. Years ago, you used to be commercially available to buy the stuff, but it seems it's just cheap enough to buy a new file and what is faff about cleaning them. So I hope this video has helped you and you can have an experiment with different things. But the one key thing is the parts must be degreased. If it's not degreased, it won't work properly and you'll say, oh, well, that didn't work, because you haven't cleaned it. You haven't removed the oil or the grease. So that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for supporting John and all his efforts. And I'd like to hear your comments, and if they're nasty ones, I don't want to hear them. But if I've shed a bit light on what you can do and how you can do it, then fine, fair enough. Thank you. Bye-bye.